Hi, today I am going to read you a book. It's called Was Celia Cruz? And the book is written by Lisbeth Kaiser and it was illustrated by Stanley Chow. I love the cover of this book because you see a picture of Celia when she was an adult on the front, but you open it up and it shows you a picture of Celia when she was a young girl. Let's get started. When Celia Cruz was young, she lived in a small house in Havana, Cuba. Even though her family had very little, her home was always full of family, food, and love, full of laughter, dreams, and music. Each night, Celia sang lullabies to her siblings and cousins, but they never worked. Her voice was so strong and full of feeling that the children stayed up to listen. Neighbors gathered outside to listen too. To earn extra money for her family, Celia entered singing contests and sang in commercials and radio shows. Soon, everyone in Cuba knew her voice, but because she was black, many people thought she couldn't be a big music star. That didn't stop her. She started singing with famous Cuban bands. At first, she was teased for having darker skin than other singers. But Celia was proud to stand out. She wore dazzling outfits, danced to the rhythm, and sang from her heart. Celia's life was changing in wonderful ways, but Cuba was also changing. A new leader was trying to control what Cuban people listened to and where they went. Celia didn't want anyone to be in charge of her, and this became dangerous. When her band got the news that they would be allowed to leave Cuba to perform, Celia was excited. But as their plane rose into the sky, their band manager told them that they weren't coming back. They were escaping. To play their music freely, they would have to leave their home behind forever. Celia missed her family and her country. She was filled with great sadness, but singing made her feel better. She performed in many cities, sharing the beauty and pride of her heritage with millions of people. And she found a new home in New York City, a place filled with music and talented musicians like her. After years of success, Celia noticed that fewer people were coming to hear her sing. Younger people were listening to music that was faster and more exciting than what she performed. Celia would never change who she was, but she was ready to try something new. She helped create a new kind of music called salsa. With salsa, Celia blended the sounds of Cuban music with a fast beat. Once more, she found a way to celebrate who she was and share her music and culture with more people. She became such a huge star. She was named the Queen of Salsa. Azúcar! Celia never got to see her home in Cuba again, but she carried it in her heart and in her music for her whole life. She used her powerful voice to show the world where she came from and who she was, and she lives on in the hearts of everyone who listens. Celia Cruz was born in Havana, Cuba. Because of racism against Black Cubans, her family had few ways to earn money. Celia planned to be a teacher when she grew up, until she learned she could make more money as a singer. She started singing on the radio, but quickly found success. Her career took off when she began performing with the popular band Sonora Matancera. Many people didn't think a Black Cuban woman could succeed, but Celia proved them wrong. She became a worldwide sensation. When the leader, Fidel Castro, took power in Cuba, he made it hard for artists and musicians to have freedom. Celia and Sonora Matancera went to Mexico to perform in 1960, and it was too unsafe for them to return. Celia became a Cuban exile and eventually moved to New York City, where she helped create a new kind of Latin dance music called salsa. As the queen of salsa, she once again spread Cuban music around the world and reached a new level of fame. A global music icon, Celia is remembered for her incredible voice, thrilling performances, and for overcoming hardship to become one of the biggest stars in music history. I hope you enjoyed listening to Who Was Celia Cruz?